Hello, everyone. It is Financially Free Dee, and we are back with another episode of Ask Dee. As you know, we are here every single Sunday. So as you come in, please start to drop your city, your state, your name. Make sure you like up the live and drop your questions. As you come on in, drop your city, state, name, and drop your questions because we are here for another Ask Dee, as we are every Sunday. And we have a very special Ask Dee because this one is our recap of our 0 to 100K credit play celebration. We did a huge master class yesterday. So if you were in the room, drop some dollar signs in the chat. If you were in the room yesterday, we were there for 4 hours almost doing a 0 to 100K. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I really gave away a 250K credit play. So hello, Jeff. How are you? Jeff from Atlanta. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Drop your questions in the chat, Jeff. And again, if you are just now coming in, make sure you like up the live. Make sure that you drop your name, your city, your state, and drop your questions because I think I gave away a lot of information yesterday, and I am coming back with it again today. We have a huge, huge, huge celebration. We had a bunch of people in the room yesterday. So if you were in the Credit Playbook Masterclass, drop some dollar signs in the chat. Show us some love. Tell us what you thought about the masterclass. Drop some dollar signs, guys. Let's see those questions. Drop some dollar signs. Let's get into it. We are going to talk about securing the bag today. It is Ask Dee Live. So if you are in Facebook and you are watching, you be sure to drop your questions down in the comment section as well. All right, we got Doug in the house. Hey, Doug. Let's see. Drop those dollar signs if you were in the room. What's up, Jonathan? Jonathan was in the room. Jonathan, tell us what you thought about the master class. Let's see who else. Yes, this is live, Jonathan. It's live. Doug, what's up from Hampton, Georgia? So, guys, we're going to jump straight into it. It's Ask Dee. So we want you guys to drop those questions down below. Make sure you share this live with anyone that you know that can use this information, that may have questions about personal credit, that may have questions about business credit, that may have questions about entrepreneurship, investing. As you guys know, I do it all. I live this life every single day. So make sure you start dropping those questions down below. This is free 99. You guys do not have to pay for this. And yes, it is live. I'm going to answer those questions. All right. So Doug said there was a ton of information in the masterclass. Jonathan said it was so much money to make this year. So guys, let's jump straight into it. We definitely want to make sure that we are giving you what you need, giving you what you want. So I want those questions. I need those questions, or else I'm going to just start talking about what I want to talk about. So I need to know where you are. Let me know where you are. Are you here for personal credit? So if you need personal credit answers, put personal credit in the chat. Are you here for business credit? If you need help building your business credit, put business credit in the chat. If you are here because you want to learn how to start a business or how to grow your business, put business in the chat. If you are here to learn to invest, then put investing in the chat. But I cannot, disclaimer, I cannot give you investment advice or financial advice. So I want to give you guys that disclaimer, but I can talk to you about my situation, about my experiences, and about clients and other people that I work with. So let's go ahead, drop those questions in the chat. We got 3 people in the house who were at the master class, and they all said that it was amazing. And by the way, guys, don't forget, we got the challenge day number 1 starting today. So if you thought that we killed the game in the masterclass and gave away a million gems in the challenge, we are doing a deep dive into every single topic we discuss. And today's topic is personal credit. So if you are here if you are here to learn about personal credit, then today is the day. Today is day number 1. Our challenge begins from our 0 to 100K masterclass, and we're talking about personal credit. As you guys know, I talked about how to properly dispute, what you need to look for to fix your credit, how you can increase those credit limits to 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. And we're really going into it today in day number 1, the challenge. So the YouTube channel, Jonathan, is at Financially Free Dee, but we're live in Facebook as well. So we're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. So if you're in our Facebook group, if you have not joined our Facebook group, do so now. You could definitely join our Facebook group. I'm going to drop the links in the chat. And we also have our YouTube channel, which is at Financially Free Dee. So we're live in both. And the Facebook group actually gets all of the exclusives. So the Facebook group got the 50% off discount to the masterclass. The Facebook group is also going to get some bonuses that I have coming for this Black Friday. So you guys definitely want to join in to check that out if you have not done so. Matter of fact, I'm going to drop the Facebook in the chat right now. So you guys, as you're coming in, drop those questions and we're going to get started. I want to see what questions do you guys have for me about anything you want to know on Ask Dee. Like I said, it could be personal credit, business structures. It could be investing. All of it, we talk about it here on Ask Dee. This is your channel. This is your day. This is your day where you can ask me anything that you want to know, and I'm going to answer it. So, Jonathan, I just dropped the Facebook group in the chat, and I'm next going to drop the YouTube channel. So we're going to get things started. We're going to get this thing rolling. Like I said, today is day 1 of the masterclass challenge. Day 1, we are going over personal credit. So if you are someone with challenged personal credit, or if you have credit limits that are below 20,000, then you should be in the room. If you are a part of the masterclass, then you need to be in the room. Everybody, make sure you check your emails, check your text messages, make sure you got the link to the masterclass, which is today at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a preview of the masterclass challenge day number 1. So let's jump right into it, guys. And we are going to get this thing rolling. So we have a 3-day challenge. It is the Secure the Bag 0 to 100K credit play. Starts today at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So in the masterclass, we talked about how to get to that coveted 8 need to do. And the first thing is you want to get your credit reports from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian to find out what you actually have on your credit. Do you have any charge-offs? Do you have any collections? Do you have any late payments? You want to figure that out. Do you have any of these things? If you have any derogatory items on your credit, you're going to want to clean them up. So today in the deep dive, we're going to go over how to start to clean up that credit, right? So if you're saying, hey, Dee, I don't have any issues with my credit. My credit is doing good. I got above a 720 credit score. If you're only at 720, you should be at 760, because right now the banks are giving away the money. They are giving it away like it's candy. So I just put the challenge link on the screen. So if you have not done so yet, it is not too late. If you missed the master class, you can join the challenge and still learn the same information, but it's condensed. Our challenges are 1 hour. 1 hour, we're going to be going into it. It's going to be you all and me, one-on-one, going into everybody's specific situations, and I'm going to show you on screen how to do these things. 1 hour. So if you are in the master class, then you already got your link. If you missed the masterclass, it's not too late for you. You can join the challenge. I have the link right here on the screen. So if you're saying, hey, Dee, my personal credit score is great. I got above a 760, but I only have credit limits of 5,000, 3,000, 10,000. Guess what? You still need to do more. You still need to do more. So let's figure out how we can increase those credit limits to 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, 50,000, right? So there are specific banks that you need to be working with that give away high limit cards, high limit loans. So we're going to be talking about that today in day one of the personal credit challenge. It's not just personal credit building, but it's also personal credit repair. We're going to be talking about both things. So as you guys come in, make sure you're dropping your questions, or else I'm just going to keep talking about what I want to talk about. Drop your questions. I am here to help you for free 99. It is free. You can get any of your questions answered here on Ask Dee. I'm willing to answer the questions. Drop the questions down below and I will answer them. Also, make sure you put your name, your city, and your state, like this live, and share it with anyone who could use this information. So we're going to recap. Day number 1, personal credit. Day number 2 in the challenge, which will be on Monday. Day number 2 is how to properly set up your business entity. The number one reason why people get denied that set up business entities and they have good credit, it is because their business entity was not set up properly. So how many people, let me know if you're watching right now, do you have a business entity? Put a 1 in the chat if you already have a legal business entity. Are you a business owner? Are you an entrepreneur? Have you legally set up your business? If you have, put a 1 in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how your business needs to be set up, right? So day number 2 is business entity setup and grants. So if you were in the master class, you also got to see that I gave away some grants. I gave away some grants for free 99. I gave away grants for free 99. This is OPM, other people's money that you don't have to pay back. So if you were there in the master class and you got some of those gems, some of those free grants, drop some $ in the chat if you were able to link to some of the grants that I gave away. And hopefully you are setting it up, going over some of the things that we talked about, like creating a business plan. So I was saying in the master class, guys, that you can literally get a grant just by having a legal business entity set up and a business plan. You do not have to have made any money, zero revenue in your business. You could literally have just started your business yesterday and get free money that you do not have to pay back. That is what you call a grant. So if you were in the master class and you heard me say that, put some $ in the chat, because I believe I gave away 2 different grants. One was 25,000, I believe, and the other one was 100,000. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment sections, but we're going to go over some more of those grants. I told the class yesterday, I won several grants last year and the year before. So one of the grants that I received, all I did was apply, give them my ID, and give them my business entity. I didn't even give them a business plan. And I showed up to 3 classes that actually helped me start my business, and they gave me $10,000. So if you guys want free money that you do not have to pay back, then we want to see the $. We want to know what your questions are. If you are here watching, you should be typing those questions in the chat, because I just gave you 2 things. Number 1, your personal credit. Anybody who is looking to buy a house or looking to buy a car or even looking to rent an apartment, or better yet, looking to protect your family and get life insurance, then guess what? They look at your personal credit score. So if your personal credit score is not 760 or above, then I would be working on that starting today, not tomorrow. You can join our challenge today, or Write some questions down in the chat that you may have about personal credit, and let's start working on the personal credit score. Because guess what? Your personal credit score affects more than you getting approved for money. It affects jobs. It affects life insurance. It affects auto insurance. How many people ever wonder, why is my auto insurance so high, outside of insurance companies are trying to make their money? Well, if you have a lower credit score, your insurance rate, your auto insurance rate is higher. How many people in the chat knew that? If you didn't know that, put a 1 in the chat. If you knew that, put a 2 in the chat. Okay? Your auto insurance is higher. Your life insurance is higher. Everything is higher if you don't have your personal credit score in order. So we went over this. 720 and below, you need to work on your personal credit score. What does that mean? You may have some late payments. We can get those off. You may have some charge offs. You can get those off. You may have bankruptcies. You may have liens. You may have child support. Right now, you should be going to annualcreditreport.com. I'm going to put that down for you guys. You should be going to annualcreditreport.com. It is free. And getting your credit score, your credit reports, to find out what is on your credit report, because that is affecting your credit score. Your credit score is made up from what's on your credit reports. Okay. So if you have any of those issues, you also should be checking to make sure all the information on your credit report is accurate. And we're going to be going over that in the challenge today, exactly what you need to look for. I guarantee you, there's probably 80 to 90% of you all watching this live right now that credit scores can go up by 10, 15, 20 points within the next couple of days if you were to just actually take this information and apply it, right? So how many people have medical collections on their credit reports? If you have a medical collection, drop it down in the comment section. Guess what? If it's under $500, it should not be on your credit report. That is one easy way. I literally have a client. We removed one of their medical collections and their credit score shot up 100 points. 100 points. I will repeat that. That was within 30 days. So once the medical collection was removed, 30 days later, they got a new credit report and they were up 100 points. So you cannot afford, if you are watching this channel, I'm set to believe that you are here because you want to level up your life. You want to build generational wealth and eventually become financially free, right? You want to have freedom to go where you want to go, do what you want to do, buy whatever you want to buy. That doesn't necessarily mean you want a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce, or you want to live in a 20,000 square foot mansion, but you want freedom. Freedom is what I am all about. I travel when I want to travel. I go where I want to go. I buy what I want to buy, right? I don't check in with anybody and say, hey, corporation XYZ, can I have 7 days off to go to Zanzibar or to go to Mexico or go to Jamaica? Hey, XYZ company, I need 3 days sick time. I don't have to do that. And I want you guys to experience what that is. And that starts with leveling up your financial future, which starts with your personal credit. So if you have any questions about personal credit here, drop them down below. But today in our credit playbook challenge, day number 1 is personal credit. We're going over how to fix the personal credit and how to increase those limits. How many people want $20,000 limits, $25,000 limits, $50,000 limits, $100,000 limits? I have all of those. And guess what? Just 2 years ago, my limits were $3,000. Well, 3 years ago now. 3 years ago, my limits were $3,000. That was the highest limit I had on any of my cards, was $3,000. And now, fast forward 3 years later, and I have these high credit limits. And I'm not just talking about it, because those of you who are in the challenge, you guys, I'm going to actually show you. So if you're in the challenge, I know you guys say, okay, we're watching this stuff on social media and people say all kinds of things. How do we know that it's true? How do we know that we can believe you? Well, if you are in my private challenge, which you can still join, I'm going to show you my limits. So I can show you where I started. I'm going to show you when I had a 645 credit score, because I did. I used to have a 645 credit score 3 years ago, right? And now I'm going to show you my 815 credit score, my 800 credit score that I currently have now. Also, those limits being 25,000, 30,000, 50,000 on a brand new business. What is a brand new business? A business that is less than 2 years old. Less than 2 years old. So if you are watching this live and you are wondering how does that happen, then start to ask your questions, right? Right. All right. So thank you, Doug. Doug, we got our first question here in the chat. Doug says, for business credit, what forms of credit to use to build business credit? All right. So for me, in the master class, I talked about this. My first form of credit that I'm going to use to build is typically a 0% interest business credit card for a number of reasons. It's, first of all, a business credit card is what you call a debt weapon. You can go in and do a lot of things with a business credit card. For number one, you can hide your utilization. So if you're watching this and you have a high utilization problem, and that's why your credit score is low, then you can use a business credit card to hide that utilization. And that's going to shoot up your personal credit score. I've done that with so many of my clients. We moved them over to business credit, and that lowered their personal credit utilization, and their credit score went from maybe 650, 680, 700 to now 720, 745, right? So I'm using a business credit card first and foremost because it's a debt weapon. It helps you hide your utilization. Your utilization is 35% of your personal credit score, or 30% of your personal credit score. I'm sorry, right? So that's number one. Number two, a 0% business credit card allows you, it's the only product that will allow you to pay no interest for a period of time. No interest. You're paying all principal. What does that mean? If you spend $500, you only have to pay back $500. If you spend $1,000, you only have to pay back $1,000, right? There's no interest, no fees on what you borrow. So if you're a savvy business credit person, you watch Financially Free Dee, or you join the Facebook group, or better yet, you join our challenge where I give you the playbook of exactly how to do it, then you know, okay, I can take a 0% interest business credit card, right? Let's say I get it for 20,000. I'm a beginner. I get a 0% interest business credit card for 20,000, right? And I have that 20,000 at 0% interest for 12 months, right? So if I'm starting a business, I'm purchasing marketing, I'm purchasing systems, I'm purchasing, the equipment I need. And as I start to make money, I pay it back, right? But then the 12 months is up. So what am I going to do? Am I going to start paying 20% interest, 30% interest? Or am I going to roll that over into another 0% interest card, right? How do you do that? So now you just received $20,000, not just for 1 year, but for 2 years. And you hear me talk about that. 0% interest for 2 years, 0% interest for 3 years. I'm on my third year of 0% interest, guys, from a purchase or purchases that I made 3 years ago to start this business, right? You're welcome, Doug. No problem. No problem. So I'm starting with 0% interest business credit cards. No problem, Doug. We'll see you in the challenge. You got it. Don't worry. I want to explain this to the people who are watching too. So if you have your questions, drop them down below. So I just gave you guys a gem of how to get 0% interest for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So I hope you took note of that. That is how you work with it. So if I'm trying to acquire anything, I'm acquiring 0% interest business credit cards first and foremost. All right. So thank you, Doug. Come on, guys, as you're coming in, drop those cities, drop those states, drop your names, drop your questions. Doug just gave us a fire question that I was able to give you a great answer to. So if you're paying attention, you're going to run the play I just gave you. This is the 0 to 100K credit playbook celebration. So I'm giving away the playbook for free 99. All you got to do is ask the question. If you're watching, drop the questions down below. If you're in Facebook and you were in the master class and you received all the gems that I gave out, drop some dollar signs in the chat if you're just now coming in. As you guys know, I gave away grants. I gave away ways to get the bank to pay you. How many want the bank to pay them? I don't think that there's very many people that have the bank paying them to use their services. But the bank pays me. The bank pays me every single month. The bank has been paying me for the last 3 years. The bank pays me in dollars. So I literally get physical checks. Matter of fact, guys, I got a check right here that I'm going to show you. Matter of fact, I'll be right back, guys. Let me go get the check that I got from Bank of America. Let me go grab it. So if you guys want to see the check, drop some dollar signs in the chat. Let me go get the check. Hold on one second. All right, guys, I got to hide my information, but how many people can see? It's a glare. Let me take this off. I'm trying to show you guys. Let's see if you guys can see. I might have to just drop some screenshots in the chat because I don't know that you guys are going to be able to see it with the glare. But if you can see this, what does that say? Bank of America, right? Does that not say Bank of America? All right, let me show you guys the check. Hold up. Let me show you guys the check so you guys know I'm not lying to you. I am not lying to you. Let me hide my info. Hold on. Let me hide my info. How many people see this? It says $234. I don't know if you guys can see because of the glare, but if you are watching, let me make sure I hide my check number and all that. I want you guys to have my check number, but I think you guys can see it. It says $234 from $232 from Bank of America. And I will drop the screenshots in the Facebook group so you guys know that I am not lying. So the bank pays me every single month. So not only are they paying me in cash, I just showed you guys the check, but also they pay me in rewards. So what type of rewards you guys are asking? So I get free flights, I get free hotels, I get free upgrades. So when I go to Zanzibar, guys, as you guys know, I'm going to be leaving soon. So you better get with me, or you got to wait until I get back next year in February. I am flying first class to Zanzibar. So anybody here in the chat know how much a first class flight to Zanzibar will cost? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. So a first class flight to Zanzibar is $10,000 to $15,000. I paid $2,500 because the bank paid me in rewards. Okay, so literally $15,000. You guys can go look this up yourselves. How much a first class flight to Zanzibar from Los Angeles would be, from Los Angeles to Zanzibar. And check that out in December or at the very beginning of January. So $10,000 to $15,000, and I paid $2,500. Okay, so that is what getting your credit does for you. With getting your credit in order. And this is a business trip, right? So guess what? It's really going to be free because it's a tax write-off for me. But I'm not your CPA. You want to definitely consult with your CPA and find out how you can do that yourself. So I just took a $15,000 flight for free, or I'm going to take a $15,000 flight for free. And not only that, I'm going to be able to eat 5-star meals. They serve alcohol, they serve champagne, they serve everything. They give you pillows, pajamas, everything that you need. I'm going to be living like a queen. It's going to be like I'm back in a hotel. Okay? So that's another thing that getting your credit in order does for you, right? Then we're not going to stop there. Matter of fact, let me get to some of the questions in the chat, because you guys know I'll go off. I'll go into a whole story of how deep this thing goes. So we have H Energy Fitness. He said, or she said, just tell us what it is. We trust you. Yeah, well, I showed you. Bank of America, $232 this month from Bank of America. All right. Doug said, let's see. What was the three credit reporting agencies for business credit, Business Experian, and the other two? So the Business Experian is called your Experian IntelliScore. So write that down. So for business, your three credit bureaus, your three credit bureaus or three credit reporting agencies are your Experian IntelliScore for business, your Dun & Bradstreet PAYDEX number, and your Equifax business. So those are the three reporting agencies for business credit. There are more, which, remember, I told you guys in the challenge, I'm giving away all the sauce. So I'm going to give you guys the other ones, the secret bureaus, because there's always secret bureaus that they don't talk about. So there are secret bureaus. There's actually bureaus for trucking, logistics. They have bureaus specifically that SBA checks. They have bureaus for other type of alternative financing. So there's other business credit bureaus besides the top three, but those are the big three. That's what we call the big three. So on the personal credit side, we have TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. But we know, if you were in the masterclass, you know that there's the secret bureaus behind the big three. So the secret bureaus on the personal credit side, they actually report to the big three. So how many of us have disputed information and it says, oh yeah, this comes back as verified. This has been verified. And you're like, verified by who? How? How is that right? So it doesn't actually come from the big three credit bureaus. It comes from the secret credit bureaus that supply them the information. Okay, so if you are in the challenge, we're going to talk about how you dispute the secondary bureaus, the secret credit bureaus, so that way you can get things removed from your personal credit. All right. And for those of you who are just joining in, I was talking about our credit challenge that we are having today. It starts at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you were unable to join the master class, it is not too late. You can join the challenge with us, and it starts. It's a 3-day challenge. So I'm going to put the website on the screen once again. If you want to join us, you can join in and deep dive into this stuff. We're going to cover every single thing we talked about in the master class, but we're going deeper. So the master class, we only had, basically 4 hours. So you can only do so much in 4 hours. So for the next 3 days, starting today at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are going to go deeper. So Doug, one of the things we're going to go into are those secret bureaus. On the personal credit side today, we are going to go over the secret bureaus. All right. So next, let's get into, you guys drop your questions below. Let me know what you want to see. We're going to keep talking. So next, we're going to get into business entity setup, right? That's going to be our next thing that we're going to get into. That's going to be day number 2. Day number 2 is business entity setup. And if you are constantly getting denied for business credit, this is probably why. Your business entity probably was not set up accurately. So day 2 is that. So we're going to be going over, like we did in the master class. If you guys see, this is our Financially Free Dee website, and this is the 0 to 100K challenge. So if you want to join us in the challenge, this is the website. And I put the link in the comment section. For those of you guys in the masterclass, you should have already received it. So we went over in the masterclass setting up your business entity properly. So one of the things you need to be paying attention to is your name. Your name is your number one thing. If you have a name that represents a business in a high risk industry, that is probably one of the number one reasons why you are being denied right now. Number two is, what is your NAICS code? What is your NAICS code? If your NAICS code represents a high risk industry, then you are going to get denied for business credit every single time. No matter if you have an 800 credit score, or no matter if you have a business entity that's been set up for multiple years, you're going to get denied because traditional lenders cannot lend to that type of business. You are considered a high risk. Okay. All right. So also on day number 2, we're talking about grants, free money, OPM that you do not have to pay back. I gave away, I think, 2 or 3 grants in the masterclass. I have a list of a bunch of grants, and I'm going to be giving it out in the challenge. And we're going to be talking about the things that you need to get approved for grants or to be picked as a grant winner. You have different types of grants. You have grants that are provided by the state. You have grants that are provided by the city. You have grants that are provided by private foundations. You even have grants that are provided by banks. You have grants, all kinds of different grants. Depending on what type of grant it is what you will need to get approved. Is what you will need. Some of them you have to pitch. So you have to actually give a business pitch. Some of them you just have to apply and be within the demographic that they are looking to award money to. So for example, if you are a minority owned business, you are typically going to be eligible to receive a grant. If you are a veteran owned business, you're typically going to be eligible for a grant. If you're a woman owned business, you're typically going to be able to receive a grant. So I talked about this in the masterclass yesterday. A bunch of people always ask, Dee, how are all these immigrants coming over from different countries getting money? And I told the class, it's these grants. It's not that they're the only ones who are available to get them. You're just not applying for them, or you're not aware of them. So let's become aware of them and how to get approved for OPM that you do not have to pay back. That is a big gem because that is free money, which is it paid for the class itself. If you get awarded these grants usually start out at thousands of dollars. Some grants are very small, maybe 500 is maybe the lowest I've ever seen, 250, but most grants are going to be 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. There's people who win millions of dollars in grants. And guess what? I work with an organization who actually awards those grants offline, not Financially Free Dee, but my actual corporation works with those nonprofits and organizations who awards these grants, right? So that's day number 2. So drop your questions down below if you have questions about that. Finally, we have day number 3 in the challenge, which is business funding. And if you are in the master class, drop some dollar signs down below and let the people know. Because I feel like, I don't know if the people believe me, but they will believe you if you were there. We know we had a bunch of people in the room and everybody loved it. So business funding, we are going to talk about the different types of business funding. And I gave away the banks. I literally gave away the banks that you can go to right now and get funding, even as a brand new startup. I gave them away. I gave away a ton of banks, and we're going to go over it even more in depth in the challenge, where we went over an actual play. We went over 2. You guys from the masterclass, let me know. I think we went over two plays to where you could get up to $250,000 with a brand new business, right? So I gave you the 0% interest plays because that's my number one thing. But I also gave you the how to receive business lines of credit, how to receive business loans. and talking about the different types of business loans that you can get. And we're going to go even more in depth on day 3 about exactly how you get that funding right now. Because right now, the banks are giving away the money. Not only are they giving away the money, they're giving away the special offers, which only happen at certain times of the year. They don't last 12 months, all around. They go, like, let's say they may happen at the very end of the year. They will do some. Then they may do some at random periods throughout the year where they're giving away $1,000 just to open an account, or they're giving away bonus offers where you're going to receive $1,000 cash back, $2,000 cash back. That is a seasonal thing. So I have the list of all the banks that are going to give you the bag. And so that is day number 3, guys. So let me know what you guys want to know. Let me know what you want to know. All right. So we got a question. We got a question here in the chat. We got Pro Dumpster Diver. What is a high risk industry? So a high risk industry means that you're either what is called very cash intensive, meaning that there's a probability that you are doing something illegal to receive that money. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of money laundering. A lot of people, how they money launder is by using cash businesses, right? So if you're a very cash intensive business, you may be considered high risk. Or if you operate in what the government considers illegal sectors or borderline illegal sectors like gambling, so that is a high risk industry. So there are a bunch of I actually have a list that I'm going to give to those who attend the challenge. I'm going to give you guys the list of what the high risk industries are, but those are 2. So if you have a cash intensive business, like a what do you call that? A pawn business where you pawn things, that's considered a high risk industry because people come in there with cash. They don't give receipts. It's hard to track the money. So when it's hard to track the money, they tend to consider it as like possibly you could be doing money laundering, right? Or if you operate in a space that can be considered, on the borderline of being illegal. As we all know, gambling is not legal in every single state in America. So, but it is an actual legitimate business, but they don't typically lend to banks will not lend to gambling institutions. So I hope that answers your question, Pro Dumpster Diver. Give me some more questions in the chat. We got somebody up here. Isaiah says, shout out to Financially Free Dee. Thanks, Isaiah. Isaiah, listen, listen, tell the people that it is possible. It is super possible. There are so many people within my network that are making their dreams come true. And so you guys give me these questions. Let me know where you are. Let me know what you want to see. But I just went over our 3-day challenge. We are going into that 3-day challenge and we are going in heavy. So for the next 3 days, we will be on Zoom doing one-on-one, giving away the literal deep dives of everything we covered in the master class, which if you were there, you received a bunch of gems. So you guys let me know any other questions that we have in the chat. Any more questions? Anybody else have any questions? Personal credit, business entity setup, grants, business funding, or just a random question. Any questions that you guys may have in the chat on Facebook, drop the questions down below. Again, if you're just now tuning in, make sure you like up the live, make sure you share the live, make sure you drop those questions down below. Make sure that you say hello. You can say hello or whatever you like to do, but we are here for Ask Dee. We do Ask Dee on Sundays. You guys, if you have things that you want to see, how many creators, how many people who have actual legitimate businesses, that their business is not only based on social media, come here and say, hey, you can ask me whatever you want to ask me for free. And I'm going to give you a true answer, not a half answer, not a lie, not showing you a lifestyle that I don't actually live, but you can come and ask me for free whatever you want to know. This is what Ask Dee is. Ask Dee is for the people. So I need you guys to drop your questions. Also, if you're ever watching the replay, you can drop questions, drop your comments on the replay. Drop your comments down below in the comment section on the video. Or if you are in the Facebook group, you can drop your questions in the Facebook group, and we're going to come to Ask Dee, and I'm going to make videos exactly on what it is that you want to see, okay? Or what you have questions about. So next, Pro Dumpster Diver said, oh, no, not Pro Dumpster Diver. Doug said, is a pet store considered a high-risk industry? No, a pet store is not considered a high-risk industry. It is not. Next, we have H Energy Fitness. Give us a business credit grant play with a new LLC and an EIN. Just one at least. All right. So I will give you guys one. I will give you guys one. All right. So if you want the grant play, because a business credit play and a grant play is not the same thing. So tell me which one. Which one? Do you want a business credit play or do you want a grant play? Because they're two different things. Business credit is money that you have to pay back. Grants is other people's money that you don't have to pay back. So let's make sure that we have those two things clear. So business credit is money that you do eventually have to pay back, and grants are money that you do not have to pay back. So which one do you want, H Energy Fitness? Let me know, because they're two different things. But first things first, across the board, if you want to apply for a business credit or for a grant, number one, you need to have your personal credit in order. I know you guys hear me say this a million different times, that you're not going to get business credit without good credit. Now, you may get a grant. There are grants that do not consider your personal credit at all. Most grants do not consider your personal credit. But what they are going to consider is do you have a business plan? So number one, you need to get a business plan. Business plan. I'll say that a million times. You need to know in that business plan, they typically want you to have your budget set up. So if you do not have a budget for your business and you want to start applying for grants, start working on that. Get in the challenge if you want to learn how to do that. So get in the challenge, and I'm going to be going over that. Now, what you want to do is, once you have your business entity set up, so if it's an LLC, make sure you have the name is in order, the industry, make sure you have an EIN number. Also, get a Dun & Bradstreet number. Get a Dun & Bradstreet number, because if you want to get certain types of grants, they want to know all your information. So get a Dun & Bradstreet number, right? Once you have all of that stuff in order, your foundation, which your business entity setup and foundation, which we'll be going over in the challenge, you got that done. Next thing is, you want to go to, I hope you're paying attention, H Energy. These are the easiest grants to get. Go to your city website. Go to your city website, and go to your state website, and go to your county website. Go to all three of them. All three. Write this down again. Go to your city website, go to your state website, go to your county website, right? And type in grants. And all of the grants that they have available in every single city, state, and county has this. Look up all the grants and just look for which ones you're eligible for. Every single one typically has a startup grant. Like you have made $0 in revenue. It's usually $0 in revenue up to like usually $1 million or something like that, or $500,000. These are the easiest grants to get. Why? They don't require you to really have a business plan. They don't require you to have made any revenue in your business. They don't require you to have anything except for a business entity set up and an idea. That is it. A business entity set up and an idea. And those grants, typically they tell you, hey, we want you to complete a class, or complete a couple of classes that may be like an hour long or 2 hours long. And then at the end of you completing those classes, they'll give you $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. That is the play. That is the play that I ran 4 times in the past couple of years. And I've gotten grants ranging from $5,000 up to $10,000 each one. So if you guys know, then you saw me post my picture with me winning the grant. I got a big check. That's how you run that play. So I hope that helps H Energy Fitness, because literally that's free money that you do not have to pay back. Okay. So I hope that helps you guys. If that helps, get down below in the comment section and let me know if you guys find a grant, because I may be able to help you. So let me know. But that's where I will run that play first and foremost. There are some other grants that they have a little bit more criteria, and we're going to go over those in the challenge. But if I'm going to start with a grant that's the easiest to get, I'm going to start there. All right. Isaiah says, Financially Free Dee is the real deal. I'm a client. She's helping me obtain business credit and help me with setting up my business entity correctly. Yes, we are going after big bags for Isaiah because he has some big things going on. So yes. Thank you, Isaiah. Shout out to you. We will be in Zanzibar together because you guys know over here we practice cooperative economics. So we work together. We build together. We get money together over here in this ecosystem. All right. H Energy said, thank you, dear. No problem. Anybody else got some more questions? I'm excited. I'm amped up for the challenge today. The challenge, if you're going to be there, drop some $ down below, because man, we are going to get to the bag. We got 5 bags being secured, guaranteed by the end of this year. So we're going to give away 5 secured bags. If you guys did not know that, in the challenge, we will talk more about that. But we are guaranteeing that we're securing some bags. So I'm not the type of person where you just listen to my information and you never actually obtain anything. No, that's what this challenge is about. It's called action to execution. You guys learned about it yesterday if you were at the masterclass. If you missed it, then you can still join in on the challenge. And so you learned, you listened, you took notes, you did all this stuff. But how many times do you actually join join some course, never even, actually do anything with the course, or you attend some class and you never actually do anything with the class? No, we're not doing that. So I actually created this challenge so that you guys can get results. This challenge is all about results. We want people to be leaving with the banks paying them. Number one, with increased personal credit scores. Credit scores above 720 at the very least. If you're already above 720, above 760. If you're already there, then 800. 800 like me, right? Once you got that, we need everybody with high credit limits. There's so many people with good personal credit scores, but low credit limits. That if you're an adult and you're making real money or you're doing business, that is not going to do anything for you if you have a $3,000 credit limit. No, we need $20,000 and above because of what is called comparable credit. Write that down. If you're in the challenge or if you were in the masterclass, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Then your business entity setup. We need you guys to set up actual business entities, not continue to think about it, but never do anything. If you are saying I'm on a path to progression, then you need to start taking action. You guys, I left a 6-figure job with no plan. I had no plan at all. But look at me now. And I did not suffer while I wasn't making money. I'm not going to come on this internet and tell you guys, it's a magic pill. It happens overnight. Rarely does anybody start a business today and start making money tomorrow. But guess what? If you have business credit like I did, which I had $100,000, I was living better than people who have jobs. I was living better than people who worked at my old job who make 6 figures. And now, unfortunately, all of those people have been laid off. They've all been laid off. They outsourced my entire department. It was a special department. And now people who are used to making $100, $150, $200,000, $300,000, they all are out of jobs. That job is not guaranteed, guys. It's not guaranteed. So now, unfortunately for them, they have to call me and say, hey, Dee, remember that business credit stuff you were telling me about 3 years ago? Oh, can you show me how to do that now? But if they would have got on top of it like I did when I did it and I was telling them, let me show you guys how to do it, then guess what? Some of these people would have been left that job a long time ago, because I definitely make more money now than I did when I was at that job. And I don't even really make money off of social media. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not a social media made millionaire. I'm not. So if I can do it, you can do it too. That's why I keep saying this. 4 years ago, I had a 9 to 5 job. And now fast forward, all those people making all that money, they've all been laid off because they thought that they could rely on job security. There's no such thing as job security. So you keep that job, but you build that business or build that business credit in the process. So that way, if the economy goes down, you get laid off, you are good. Like I was good. I didn't miss any meals. I didn't miss any trips. I didn't miss anything. I was perfectly fine. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope you guys are listening and listening loud and clear. I'm going to do this one last time. I got an invite to everybody here on the YouTube channel and an invite for everybody here on Facebook. If you want to learn to build business credit the right way, which includes getting your personal credit scores and your personal credit limit increases up, build that business entity properly, then obtain other people's money, which is grant money that you don't have to pay back. And it is positive cash flow in your business from day one without you even generating $1 in your business. That's what I did. I had $15,000 in my business before I sold anything, before I did anything. Then the last piece is building up that business credit, mainly 0% interest to start with, up to $100,000 or $250. By the time I was 1 year in, I had $250,000, and you guys can do the same thing. So I'm inviting you guys to the challenge. Again, it starts today at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm gonna play the clip for you guys. And if you have any last minute questions, drop them down below, and then we will be exiting this financially free Dee Ask Dee today. All right, so I'm going to roll the clip for you guys and get this financially free. And I'm into you with a very special announcement. So every single time I have a consultation with someone, anytime I speak to anyone on YouTube or Facebook, or even at live events, I get the very same question. How were you able to get that coveted $100,000 in business credit in less than 6 months? Today, I am bringing to you those. So we're going over the answers today. Like I said, guys, we are going over the answers today and starting today in our 3-day challenge. If you missed it, day number 1 is personal credit. That starts today. If you have good personal credit, you should have high limits, 20,000 or above. Day number 2, business entity setup and grants. If you want free money, other people's money, then you need to learn how to get grants. I literally have people that I am associated with that get millions of dollars in grants. There are people who do this as a business and get millions of dollars. It exists. Then we have day number 3, where we go over the actual credit playbook and we show you how to get, I said $100,000 in business credit, but I believe in the masterclass, we went over $250,000. So that is today, the 19th, 6 p.m., the 20th, 6 p.m., and the very last day on the 21st at 6 p.m. And then we are off for the holidays, and I will be getting out of here very soon, going to Zanzibar. So if we have no other questions down below in the chat, let me double check. Isaiah said, I want to be financially free, Dee, when I grow up. Isaiah, you already know you're coming with me. You're coming with me. You don't have a choice. You're stuck with me. We're gonna go over some of this stuff in Zanzibar too, Isaiah. Remind me of that. But if there's anybody else that has any questions, then let me know. If not, guys, I will see you in the challenge tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I wish you guys generational wealth and financial freedom, because that is what I am here for. I am Financially Free Dee, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.